A diesel mechanic's take on Tesla, some thoughts on the EV tax credit, and a big thank you to supporters of the Extra Life campaign. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 329 for December 4th, 2017. We start tonight with a YouTube video on the Test It, Fix It, Build It channel posted to Inside EVs, where a diesel mechanic discusses the Tesla Semi and loosely Tesla in general. The guy definitely was paying attention during the presentation, as he has his facts down pretty accurately, including performance, rumored pricing, and reliability. The conclusion he comes to is that he'll be out of a job in 10 to 15 years. He notes that while it's only Tesla now, this is the future, like it or not. He then goes on to list what are basically all the advantages you and I already know that EVs hold over traditional combustion engines, and then remarks that the Roadster and Model 3 serve as the harbingers of doom for all mechanics, not just the diesel ones. Without the laundry list of literal bolt-on equipment to make a combustion engine run, there's far less to go wrong, and as the guy puts it, mechanics will be relegated to changing tires and brakes. And even the brakes on the Semi are supposed to last far longer than the brakes on a standard Semi. I always find it refreshing to get a take from folks outside our EV echo chamber, and this is 9 minutes of a guy that seems to be just that. As I've said before, any of you out there in the Semi space with your own take, feel free to let me know your thoughts by either tweeting me at the usual @TeslaTidbits or emailing me at podcast@teslatidbits.com. I'd love to get some input from the truckers out there. With the passage of the Senate version of the tax reform bill, there's been a lot of reporting on what is to become of the U.S. tax credit for EVs. The latest appears to be that an amendment was introduced to remove the credit from even the Senate side, but it was never considered for vote and does not appear in the version that it passed the Senate. Regardless, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter either way. What they didn't tell you in Schoolhouse Rock is that Mr. Bill often has two versions of himself and has to go through a process called reconciliation before being passed to the president for a signature. During this time, the two parts of the government identify the differences in the two pieces of legislation and finally agree on what should be in the final version. Because of this, many things can occur before the final law is put into effect. For that reason, we need to wait until the president's signature is on the paper before stating either way what's happening. I will certainly report on it once the ink is dry. Lastly tonight, I'm going to give a huge word of thanks to the folks that have supported my Extra Life campaign to help 6 kids. You guys have been carrying the day for my team. Thus far, I'm personally 50 cents short of having raised $500 this year for the cause. The rest of my team got a much later start to fundraising than I did, and as a result, our team has a total of $524.50 raised. Hopefully they can find a few donations out there. Our goal was to try and hit $1,000 this year, and we still have until the end of the year to try to do so. This has been the second best year thus far in the 5 that I've been doing it, as our record is raising $745 in 2015. I'm definitely happy to slot this year into number 2, but if you wanted to donate and did not have the chance, please head on over to bit.ly/TT-EL2017, that TT and EL are in caps, and have at it. I'd certainly love to find a way to at least best our previous effort. I'll let everyone know where we end up after the year is out. Make sure to check out the links to the full stories in the show description. While you're at it, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks as always to my super patrons for supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are John Waltauer, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Quindici, John Rich, Joey Boots, and Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse. Be sure to show your love on YouTube, iTunes, and other services across the internet, or use the show referral code TS.LA/JON4602 if you're in the market for a new Tesla. It gets you free supercharging for the life of the vehicle. That's it for today. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits. I'll see everyone back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.